South African President Cyril Ramaphosa took on another challenge, way above his pay grade. Now he claims he's going to save the man he calls his brother, Nicolas Maduro. With Maduro now in US custody and his regime shaken to the core, South Africa's response is bound to be a test for the ANC's commitment to decades-old ideological loyalties to Venezuela's ruling elite. Will the ANC now act against the US military as its officials have threatened to do in the past? Stay tuned, because in today's video we will be exposing how the Ramaphosa government's response to the latest shakeup of the international order is likely to look, and why the Ramaphosa regime is doing what they are currently doing with regards to Venezuela. Last week, the US enacted a surprise military operation in Caracas, the capital of Venezuela, capturing the country's president Nicolas Maduro along with his wife, extracting them to the US. The Trump administration consequently announced that it would temporarily govern Venezuela so as to ensure a safe transition to a new democratic government. Maduro and his wife are to be tried in a US court on drug and weapons trafficking charges. And despite several condemnations from UN member states aligning with Venezuela, the US remains unfazed in its commitment to achieving its geopolitical goals within the Americas. South African President Cyril Ramaphosa has, of course, joined the chorus in condemning the arrest of Maduro as a violation of international law and calling it an act of war, and called upon to the UN Security Council to investigate into this matter.
Well, I think everybody now in the world agrees that what has happened is a violation of international law and also a violation of the United Nations Charter. And that is why we called for the Security Council to meet to discuss this matter. And they are the one body that is mandated by the entire world to deal with issues of peace, to deal with issues of security. And we are hoping that the collective wisdom that resides in the Security Council and in the UN body as a whole will bring forward solutions and bring to bear some good sense that should prevail.
Nicolas Maduro was born in 1962 into a working-class Venezuelan family and began his career as a bus driver. Later, he began his political career with the United Socialist Party of Venezuela. He quickly rose through the ranks, serving as former President Hugo Chávez's vice president between 2012 and 2013. Following Chávez's death in 2013, he won the special presidential election that followed with just over 50% of the vote, ruling the country ever since. In this particular election, Maduro was backed by a number of hard-left political parties in Venezuela, including the Venezuelan Communist Party, which has long been the senior ally of his own United Socialist Party. Maduro's regime has also been aligned with all the usual suspects you can imagine. In a tweet published in 28 April 2020, the day after the ANC celebrated 26 years in power, Cyril Ramaphosa, the President of South Africa, referred to Nicolas Maduro, the President of Venezuela, as his brother, with whose regime he shares a deep historical bond based on friendship, solidarity, and ideological cooperation. This is a remarkably strong sentiment of affection being expressed by one head of state to another, especially in light of the fact that the two countries are situated on different continents on two different sides of the world and operate in vastly different spheres of influence. And this sentiment didn't fall from the sky, as the Venezuelan regime of Maduro and the ANC that has been running this country have shared an extremely close bond for more than half a century. When the South African Communist Party celebrated their 50th anniversary in 1971, the Venezuelan Communist Party was one of its closest international allies. And in their well-wishes for the South African Communist Party, the ANC and the MK during this celebration, The Venezuelan communists highlighted that we are convinced that your activities will also bring about, also by means of unity with the African National Congress, the consolidation of South Africa's masses in their struggle against the apartheid regime and against foreign imperialism. This alliance between the ANC and the United Socialist Party of Venezuela long predated either Ramaphosa or Maduro and their rises to power, but under their respective leaderships, it was undoubtedly further developed and expanded, to such an extent that Ramaphosa would call Maduro a brother. In fact, to our knowledge here at the Willem Petzer Group, Maduro is the only non-African head of state that Cyril Ramaphosa has ever called a brother. In December 2022, Ramaphosa also hosted Maduro for a state visit here in South Africa, intended to further strengthen what the presidency described as the already strong relations between the two regimes. In the press statement accompanying the visit, the presidency also openly aligned itself with the communist ideology of the Maduro government. Now the South African government has also joined several fellow UN members in condemning the United States intervention in Venezuela, with the Ministry of International Relations claiming that unilateral force of this nature undermines the stability of the international order. What makes South Africa's stance unique, however, is that it is one of the closest allies of the tyrannical Maduro regime. It is not a matter of simply condemning US foreign policy. The ANC actually sees the attack on Maduro as an attack on the ANC itself. During a diplomatic event in 2018 commemorating Nelson Mandela, the ANC's ambassador to Venezuela, Joseph Nkosi, announced that the South African government would be willing to assist Venezuela by bringing in South African soldiers to fight against the US Army. Over the past year, Ramaphosa has time and time again reiterated that he is not afraid of the so-called bullying of the United States of America.
We will not be deterred. We are, as South Africans, a resilient people, and we will not be bullied. We will stand together as a united nation, and we will speak with one voice in defense of our national interests, our sovereignty, and our constitutional democracy. By standing true to our values, by harnessing our unique strengths and endowments, and by forging a common purpose, we can turn these trying circumstances to our advantage and propel our country forward.
The question now remains then how Ramaphosa will come to the aid of his so-called brother Nicolás Maduro. How will he defend Maduro against the so-called bullying of the United States? Having already called upon the UN Security Council to investigate this matter, it is likely that the South African government will now also proceed to provide practical support to what remains of the Venezuelan ruling elite, for example, offering diplomatic channels, mediation platforms, or even logistical assistance to Venezuelan officials and families seeking political coordination abroad. Pretoria will also most likely tighten economic and trade cooperation with pro-Maduro actors inside Venezuela, and try to help their corrupt friends circumvent aspects of Western financial and political isolation. If anything, both the ANC and the United Socialist Party of Venezuela are likely to see the chaos ensuing from this as an opportunity for more corruption and plunder in both countries. If, however, Ramaphosa wants to stay true to his promise not to be bullied by the US, then he will have to do more than that. If he wants to follow through with his big boy talk, then he will have to follow the path outlined by South Africa's ambassador to Caracas, Joseph Nkosi, and follow through with the threat of military intervention against the US. Would he actually be willing to join forces with BRICS partners should they threaten military action against the US? While it is of course somewhat unlikely that Ramaphosa would be stupid enough to actually try something like that, he still wouldn't be sleeping easily following what the US has done to his friend and his brother Nicolas Maduro. Who will be next? After all, in a recent video we exposed the fact that the US is already investigating Ramaphosa's connections to radical Islamic terrorists in the Middle East. You can check out the report by clicking on this link appearing on your screen right now. And consider supporting our work by becoming a paid member of the Willem Petzer Group. All the research going into these daily videos require a large team, and it's only with your support that we can continue having this team on board. Simply follow the easy steps on the banner underneath me. Goodbye and God bless.